Well, hello and welcome to Woolly Hats Wednesday Whips on a Thursday. It is the new year and we are getting used to which day of the week it is, so that's my excuse anyway. Happy New Year to you, everybody. I hope you have had a wonderful time seeing friends and relatives perhaps, or just having a chill out time, having something nice to eat and not being at work perhaps. So we had a lovely time. We were around at some friends on the Christmas day, and then we went to the Yorkshire Dales over New Year, which is great, lots of fresh air, and I even swam in the sea. So there you go. Before Christmas I had lots of knitting to do, as you might remember. I had a lovely jumper I made for my husband's nephew for his 40th birthday. That's now been delivered and he's wearing it and it's nice. And I did some Christmas stockings and Christmas socks and Christmas bags, and all of those are now done. So after Christmas I thought, I can do something else. So I decided to do a cardigan for Mr. W. Now, originally he had a cardigan in this, which is Rowan double knit cotton, and he had a jumper or a cardigan. It looked like that, the one with the zip up. There. So that's what he had. But since I knitted it for him, he's become a lot slimmer and almost godlike. You never know. So I undid it. This was actually before Christmas because I knew he wasn't wearing it. So I undid it, and because it's cotton, it's quite easy to undo because it's nice and smooth. It's much more difficult to unravel something like a mohair or a yarn that sticks together. It's quite rough. They're quite a pain to undo, but cotton's not too bad. Anyway, so Mr. W said he didn't want the same cardigan, and I looked at some of the patterns to see what else I got. So I found this one. Yeah, there's a chappy running away, and there he is there. Nice plain cardigan. It's done by Martin Story, who does lots of lovely Aran cable stuff, but Mr. W didn't want any cable. He wanted a plain cardi to keep him warm. So I thought, that's all right, we can do that. And then, of course, I realised that one is in double knit, and this one is in Aran weight, which means that it would come out a lot smaller if I just knitted it using the double knit on the measurements for him. So I've spent quite a happy little time working out exactly how much I need to do, and looking at the tension for the Aran and the tension for the double knit, and then working out what alterations I need to do. Because it's a plain pattern, it's a lot easier to do than if it had a lot of cable or pattern or colours and that kind of thing. So I have started knitting it. So here we go. So as you can see, it is a plain pattern, but it's a nice easy thing to do in between Christmas and New Year while watching James Bond on the telly. And James Bond we got No Time to Die for Christmas. Santa Claus gave it in my stocking because we'd not managed to see it in the cinema, and it was a very long film, and I was shocked at the end. I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but I was quite surprised. Anyway, so while I was watching that, I was knitting this. So there you go. So that is what I've been doing. I have got a crochet project, but I'll show you that later. But anyway, this is also another example of a project I did where I had to do alterations. Again, another Rowan pattern, and this was in their denim collection. Now, their denim yarn, and some other manufacturers do it as well. It's a yarn that shrinks. It's got the feel of a denim cotton. It shrinks lengthways when you've done it, so you have to knit it longer. This is a mix of wool and acrylic, I think. So long ago that I knitted, I can't remember it, but it's definitely not all wool. But it's a nice smooth wool, so you can see the detail of it, just the pearl pattern on there. So I had to do a similar thing to Mr. W's cardigan and work out how much I needed. It wasn't quite such a challenge because it was all double knit and double knit. It's just that some of it was longer and shorter. So who knew that knitting could be so exciting, doing all these calculations and working out things and all that kind of stuff. I quite like doing that. Some people I know don't like doing it. And I thought you would like to know about my workshop at the end of January, all you knitters, because I know some of you like to knit, but you end up having all your things in a heap at the end, because you don't like to do the sewing up, or you don't like to do the finishing. Which is a great shame, because what's the point of doing something if you're not going to wear it or complete it? So my workshop at the end of January is professional finishing, or finishing techniques for knitters, and we'll be covering all kinds of things, from sewing up using mattress stitch, making sure that when you're picking up stitches you're doing it the right way, how do you work out your tension, and all these kind of things that I've been looking at for my cardigan and this jumper that I did before. And hopefully we'll do it in a fun way and help you on your way to finishing off some of those projects that might be behind the sofa, as it were. So that's on the 29th of January between 12 and 4, so it's 4 hours. I do provide some refreshments and a cake, because we'll have finished doing our diets by then, won't we? It'd be nice to see you there, so please do let me know if you want to come along. It's only £30, all you need to do is bring along your 4mm knitting needles, and I ask you to do a few squares just so we can practice some sewing up, things like that. And if you have a project that you haven't been able to finish, then please bring that along as well, and then that I can give you some guidance on the best way of doing things, and so that you end up with a lovely finished project. So hopefully that has inspired you, and I will see you at the end of January. Don't forget, I've also got Granny Square course starting on the 26th, and then later in the month the Fair Art workshop, but I'll tell you a bit about that later. So that's all from me today. Have a wonderful week. I hope things are getting back to normal. Our Christmas decorations are away, and now I can focus on woolly hat courses and classes and things like that, and my new knitting projects. See you next week. Bye.